Hi everyone. To start off with today, we are going to learn some new word parts. So you need to pull up your word parts note chart that you worked with last time that we did word parts. It should be in your Google Drive. So let's see if I can get my drive open. I'm just going to go to drive.google.com and hopefully you put this in your English 1 folder so that you can find it very easily. If you didn't, then you might want to just search in Drive and search for word parts. But hopefully you have an English 1 folder. Here's mine. I'm just going to double click on it and hopefully my word chart is in there. And there it is, copy of word parts notes. So that's why it's so important to use that English 1 folder. It makes it so easy to find things that you need. So as a reminder, you're going to be writing down the word part in the first column, the definition of that word part in the second column, and then the sample words in the third column. So let's go ahead and get started. Pause the video whenever you need to copy things down, and then resume when you are ready to go on. Let me get on the right slide here. Okay, so our first one is a group again. We have grouped these ones together because they have the same meaning and they're used in the same way. So this is com, con, co, and col. So the definition of this is with or together. And there's tons of example words that you can probably think of, but here's a few. Combine, right? So that's you're putting things together. Contact, right? If you think about if you contact someone, right? You're like getting together with them. Collect, right? So that's where you're bringing things together. If you are collecting trash, you're putting all the trash together. And then coworker, right? So that is a person that you work with. You're working with that person together along with that person. So that is com, con, co, and call. And again, pause if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next slide. Our next one is a root word, which is cron, and that means time. So some examples, chronological. So if something is in chronological order, it is in time order, right? So what happened first comes first, then what happened next, and then so on and so forth. Synchronize. So if you synchronize something, it means that you're all doing it at the same time. So you think about like if you've ever seen synchronized swimming, they're all doing things at the same time together. And the last one is a word that you maybe haven't heard of before, but it's anachronism. And an anachronism is something that doesn't fit within the time period. So for example, if you were reading a story about the Wild West in America, right? Buffalo Bill, that type of time period, right? The settlers and everything. Let me pause for a second. Okay, sorry, they just came on with the announcements, so I didn't want to have to talk over them. Okay, so the anachronism. Let's say, like I said, you're in the Wild West, right? And then this could either be a story or a movie, right? And it's taking place in the Wild West, and there's like covered wagons and horses, and then all of a sudden somebody pulls out an iPhone. Okay, that's an anachronism because it doesn't make sense in the time period. It's something that doesn't fit within the time. So that is what anachronism means. Again, pause if you need to, and then resume when you're ready. Our next root word is graph, and graph means to write. So you have autograph, that's where you sign your name, right? So that's remember we learned that auto means self. So if you break this down, it actually means self-writing. So you're signing your own name, right? Graphite is the material that pencil lead is made out of. So again, that has to do with writing. And then you have calligraphy. So calligraphy is like that really beautiful handwriting that is very elaborate and ornate. And you use, so it is a type of writing. So that again relates to that graph definition of write. Next, we have a suffix, which is ism. So an ism is a set of beliefs. We have things like narcissism. That's where you believe that you are the best and you are sort of full of yourself. and I don't know, you just believe that you're the greatest thing that there is, basically. Buddhism is a set of beliefs that is a religion that follows the teachings of Buddha. And then the last one is pacifism. So if you believe in pacifism, it's a set of beliefs that basically relates to believing that everyone should be peaceful and nonviolent. And then our last one for this week is less, and this means lacking or without. So if you have, for example, defenseless, okay, so that's without defense. Effortless would be without effort. Blameless, without blame. So these are some that you might be pretty familiar with, but it's always good to sort of think about the way that these prefixes and suffixes work together, even in words that you're familiar with, because then when you see them in words that you don't know, you will be more used to them and able to recognize them. So make sure you have those 5 sets of words copied down into your notes in your English 1 folder, and we will continue to work with these words throughout the week. Okay, so once you have gotten those word part notes down, then you are going to go ahead and review the vocabulary for Cask of Amontillado. So this is just a vocab.com list. If you haven't used it before, it'll take you to this list where you can look through the words. I know that my second hour class did not get to get these words introduced last time. So for you guys, you will want to look through the words, read the definitions, and check through them before you practice them. For everyone else, you'll just want to click on this green Start Practice button. And there's a chance that vocab.com will make you sign in. Sometimes when you sign in, then it defaults you to just a random list instead of the list that you wanted. So if that happens, then just go back in to the announcement, click on the link again, and then you'll be in the right list. So you want to make sure that you're in this Cask of Amontillado vocabulary list. What I want you to do is spend 5 or 10 minutes doing some of these practice questions. And what this looks like is you just hit Start Practice, and it will assign you a multiple choice question, and you just answer them. So niche means, and then you can click the correct answer. If you get the answer wrong, it will tell you that it was wrong and ask you to look again. And you just keep going through in that manner. So I would probably do down here at the bottom, you can see that it tells you there's 10 questions per round. I would probably do 2 rounds or so, just so that you can get practice with all of the words. I'm trying to get through this here quickly so that I can show you. So some of them ask you, to read a passage. Some of them just ask you for synonyms. Okay, come on. I'm almost here. Oops. Okay. So then when you finish the round, then you will get like a summary of your progress. And then you can just click this arrow over here to continue practicing. So again, I would just practice for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, maybe do a couple of rounds just so that you gain some more familiarity with the words. Once you have done that, we're going to get started with reading. So you have this Cask of Amontillado reading assignment, and if you go ahead and click on that, it's going to open. Now, I am going to tell you that I need you to click on this blue button here. Even if you don't normally do that, Canvas sometimes times you out if you work directly in the Canvas page. So click that blue button so that you can work on this in your own separate document, because I just don't want you to lose any of the progress that you make on it. Okay, so once you have this document open, then you're going to see that there is a gray button right here that says Video Directions. I want you to go ahead and click on that video link and watch that separate video. It's a little bit long, so I just don't want to drag it onto this, and I want you to be able to access it anytime that you need it. So once you have this pulled up, click where it says Video Directions, and then we will go from there.